First thing you want to do, start a new design document, and you're going to design up your part, your ejector pin. My ejector pin is going to be pretty simple. It's going to be a rectangle. So I'm going to name the parameters on the fly. X equals 1, Y equals 1, located at 0. Sorry, I'll use a color you can see. And I'll extrude this. Z equals 1 as well. So now I have all the named parameters that are important to me. I'm going to save this. Now here, if you have this turned on or not, I'm not sure. It's asking if you want to define your part. I'm going to say no for now. We're going to do it in a minute manually. I made a folder in my projects directory called Excel Family Parts. And I'm going to call this Ejector. Now I'm going to go Assembly, Define Part. I'm going to select the solid. And for designation here, I'm going to call it Ejector. I'm going to make sure the material is what I want it to be. I'm going to say OK. Now, that's it. From here, I'm going to go directly to Assembly, Define Component, Edit Catalog Header, and select all parameters in text. Excuse me. And I'm going to say 1 by 1 by 1, 2 by 2 by 2, 3 by 3 by 3, 4 by 4 by 4. And I'm basically filling out my Excel table. Just like any other table in TopSolid, if you want to move this component later, you need to move the Excel table with it manually. So I'm going to save that and close that. And just real quick, you can test it. Go to Assembly Catalog Code. Provided you have the catalog code in this directory, you'll see it listed right here. So here you can call your different versions. Now, how do we use this downstream? Let's start a new design. I'm going to tile my windows. And I'm going to go to my assembly functions. And I'm going to include the ejector, right? However, when I include the ejector, right here it asks me for the code right away. So I'm going to say 1 by 1. I'm going to say stop, no propagation, other component, ejector again. This time the 2 by 2. Ejector again, this time the 3 by 3. And so forth, so on. At any time you can go and modify the version of the pin to be one of the other versions. Now, here, I'm going to save this as my assembly. I'm going to go back to my design and go edit my catalog. It's going to bring that table back up, and I'm going to say I want to add the 5 by 5 by 5. Save it. Save that. Oops. Go into here, include standard again. And you might need to actually reload this file in order to see this. I forget. If I regenerate all documents, maybe that's it. Yeah, you have to reload the file. But anyway, so you have that, and you have that. Now, just to give you an idea, if I go and make a draft, and we say make the draft of my assembly, say OK here. If I go add a bill of material of that between these 2 points, you have the ejector, which was the designation when you described it, and the version right here. And of course, you can bring in that Excel table that you made as a externally mounted table.